What's up, gamers? One of my favorite things about this game is how it somehow manages to absolutely decimate every single run I've ever had by debuffing my cards. Oh, I've got Bloodstone, the Joker that only works with hard cards. How about the Head, so now all your hard cards are debuffed? I've got a run where I cut my deck down to like only a few cards. Here's the Pillar, who debuffs my entire deck after having played like 2 hands in the small blind. You wanna try a Nan in front? Actually, no, you're not gonna do that. You know what? Now everything's debuffed. Now, much like a lot of my other Balatro challenges, one of the hardest parts is actually getting a run off the ground. I need to score at least 300 points to even get to the first shop, and with only 4 hands, I'd need to be averaging at least 75 points a hand. That's 4 consecutive hands of at least 3 of a kind or better, which, in terms of consistency, means a lot of resetting. To alleviate some of the upfront pain and anguish, I was doing attempts with the checkered deck, which decreases the different suit types in my deck from 4 to 2, making flushes way easier to play. With 1 flush scoring 140 points, it only took 3 hands to clear the small blind, taking me into the first shop, where a gamble on a buffoon pack pulled one of, if not the best, early jokers in the game, Green Joker. With an 8-card hand, I'd almost always be able to play a flush without having to discard anything, and raw additive mult this early would be pivotal in getting me through the first few antes. Now, able to hit the required score in only a few hands, I opted to play a few flushes and then a normal high card in the big blind, as even 1 additional mult could make a difference in later bouts. I collected my loot, skipped the shop with the hopes of gaining some interest on my $5, and headed into the window. Oh, dang. You were gonna debuff my diamond cards? Well, shoot. I hate to break it to you, but all my cards are already debuffed, idiot! Well, actually, I don't even have any diamond cards, but, if I did, you wouldn't even do anything, stupid! My Green Joker made quick work of the 600-point score requirement, and after another couple of tactical high cards was up to +8 mult. I skipped yet another meh store and headed into ante 2. The small blind fell after a few hands, and then in the shop I bought a perishable rental golden joker. Its rental modifier would lose me $3 at the end of the round, but it would earn me $4, so not the most insane commerce joker I could have gotten, but $1 extra is more than 0. In a normal run, a decent number of your chips come from the cards you play, but for me, with everything debuffed, my Green Joker wasn't popping off as much as he normally would. I was in desperate need of some chips, and although the banner in the big blinds shop would only be giving me 60 chips with my 2 discards, it was better than nothing. After checking the Jumbo Buffoon pack to see if there was anything better, I grabbed the Eternal Joker. With a big chunk of my mult and chips coming from my jokers now, I wouldn't have to worry as much about not drawing a flush every hand. Well, at least that would be the case if the water didn't get rid of all of my discards, essentially making my recently purchased banner utterly useless. Despite the unlucky circumstance, I made it through with 2,300 points and a whole lot of reward money. In the shop, I spent 10 gold to grab 4 grabber, which was easily the best voucher for my current setup. More hands meant more mult for Green Joker, and it also meant more money if I beat the blind too fast. From the Buffoon pack, I was tempted to pick up Loyalty card, as with 5 hands already, I'd get 4x mult for pretty much every blind. I eventually ended up grabbing the banana instead, as my game plan was more focused on a death by 1,000 cuts type strategy, rather than the drop a bunch of Tomahawk cruise missiles on them approach that some other people might use. Into ante 3, where I pretty much just stopped playing flushes. With so many hands, I was more or less just focused on scaling my Green Joker, and with the banana and banner providing stable chips and mult, I was blowing through blinds. An Arcana pack was my only purchase in the small blinds shop, and it basically just gave me $1 after spending 6 to use Temperance, which gave me 7. The grind set never stops. I beat the big blind with only 2 hands, making me realize that I might actually be winning too fast, and then I grabbed a useless Spectral pack from the shop. The Manacle's reduced hand size was trivial to my high card only playstyle, and after only 3 hands, I was off to ante 4. Not before the Golden Joker stole $3 from me and then killed himself, which, super cool stuff. A crazy lucky Nacho Talk voucher greeted me in the shop and made me really regret skipping that loyalty card, as I would have gotten a guaranteed 4x mult against every blind. Well, whatever. A $4 Arcana pack gave me $6 with the Hermit, again, inconceivably large dividends. Ante 4's small blind fell to a coincidental 4 hands and also allowed me to waste some of my money on a useless 8-ball from a Buffoon pack, and then a less useless Eternal Square Joker. Although I already had a chip joker in the banner, the square joker would be able to scale with every single hand, as I'd just be playing high card anyways. This meant that every hand I played would not only give me +1 mult with my green joker, but +4 chips with Mr. Square. A couple of 4-card hands took out the big blind, and after yet another disappointing shop, I headed into the goad. I made sure to aura farm a little bit, playing every single spade card I could before beating the boss with 2 hands still remaining. I apparently went too crazy, as I also farmed my banana, leaving the mult building to my lone green joker. $25 turned into 30 with a temperance, and then turned into 19 with some really exciting and fun rerolls. The Ante 5 small blind took all 6 hands to defeat, leaving my faith in my current joker roster shaken. Although my setup had huge linear scaling, the score requirements were increasing exponentially, meaning I'd eventually fall behind. In the shop, I bought a Fool to summon Temperance yet again, bringing my funds up to 27. I bought and sold Diet Cola, giving me a free double tag, and then popped the Mega Arcana pack. I used the Emperor, who gave me yet another Commerce Tarot, the Hermit, who, after selling Star, doubled my money to 40 bucks. The normal Arcana pack also gave me a Hermit, and when all was said and done, I was sitting at $56. Feeling liquid and concerned about my future, I hit a reroll and pulled pretty much the exact joker I was looking for. Card Sharp would give me 3x mult if the current poker hand had already been played, and with 6 hands, I was basically guaranteed 5 turns worth of util. One more reroll for good measure, and it was off to the big blind to test out my new toy. Not really paying attention to my cards because, well, they're all debuffed, I accidentally played a pair instead of high card. It turned out fine though, after drawing a second king, allowing me to put up almost 20,000 points. Honestly, a little less than I thought it'd be, but whatever. My foolish pair play meant I wasn't able to get a card sharp trigger on turn number 3, but with so many hands, I was feeling invincible. A few rerolls and, oh man, Hologram is hands down my favorite joker in the whole game, and with a mega standard pack in the shop, it could not have come at a better time. I sold my useless 8-ball and picked a few random playing cards, bringing Hologram up to 1.5x mult without even trying. The club, who debuffed my non-existent club cards, got to experience the full might of my new and improved Joker roster, which, after a 10k setup hand, would be dishing out 30,000 points and climbing. In the shop, I grabbed the clearance sale voucher, hopefully making standard packs easier to buy, and then finally cashed in on my double tag, using it on a negative tag with the hopes of some more raw mult or chip jokers. The big blind fell to a mere 3 hands, and then a run that already felt nuts got even crazier. The semi-useless Jolly Joker was my first negative, but the real piece de resistance was Constellation. What a stacked Joker roster. Now, anytime I buy a playing card, I get times 0.25 mult. Anytime I buy a planet card, I get times 0.1 mult. And anytime I play a single hand, I gain a mult and 4 chips. Genuinely, some of the most scaling I have ever had in a gold stake run. 2 Celestial packs buffed my newly purchased Joker to times 0.2 mult and brought pair up to level 3. Get excited, because I actually don't play a single pair for the rest of the run. The fish was Ante 6's boss and caused me a bit of concern. Without being able to see what card I was actually playing, I couldn't be positive that I'd trigger Card Sharp, which could potentially nerf my max score pretty hard. I really didn't have anything to be concerned about though, as after just 3 hands I was off to Ante 7. A Jumbo Celestial pack upgraded pair again, and after a few quick hands against the small blind, I bought both the Jumbo and Mega Standard packs, adding 3 cards and 0.75x mult to Hologram. After an upgrade to 3 of a kind, courtesy of Venus, I was headed off to the big blind. After my first setup turn, I was putting up nearly 120,000 points per hand, which, with all 6 triggers, meant I should be able to hit 500,000 points without a single active card in my deck. I grabbed yet another standard pack and a Jupiter from the shop before popping an Emperor from an Arcana pack. Basically just wasted $4 though after pulling 2 useless tarot cards. The head was the second to last boss of the run and was also the fourth and final suit debuff blind I had encountered. Kinda crazy that on the challenge run where everything is already debuffed, I run into the club, the goad, the window, and the head. I mean, next thing you're gonna do is tell me the finisher boss blind is the verdant leaf, right? Okay, well that's weirdly very lucky. Before that though, I bought a standard pack and the jumbo celestial pack, finally upgrading high card on literally the last ante of the run. 3 blinds to go, and at this point I was feeling untouchable. I put up almost 300,000 points with just 2 hands against the small blind, and then after buying yet another standard pack and upgrading pair again, I demolished the big blind with nearly 350,000 points. A lot of my other challenge runs will have this climactic final boss fight where I say some hype one-liner and barely manage to scrape by, but I mean, there's basically no suspense here. I absolutely demolished this challenge, and all I needed to do it was one of the best early game jokers in the entire roster and 3 of the best late game scaling jokers, but I mean, okay, literally nobody else can even come close to my level of expertise, okay? I mean, not to flex, but I have been called the LeBron James of Balatro. You know, I had this guy come up to me on the street the other day and he was like, "Are you Eclipse?" And I was like, "Yeah, how did you know?" And he was like, "Oh, I mean, I don't actually watch any of your videos. I just felt like someone that emits that much swag energy would have to be some insane roguelike YouTuber." And I mean, he's not wrong. I'd be surprised if anyone in the history of the universe could even beat me in a head-to-head Balatro match. Okay, like maybe like, I don't know, like Isaac Newton, but I don't even think he knows what poker is, so I feel like I'd still take the W. I mean maybe Magnus Carlsen, but chess is cringe, so I mean, who even cares, right?